Do you prefer to use public or private transportation? I prefer to use public transportation because first, um, using public transportation will reduce the amount of traffic, avoiding traffic congestions. Um, More safety when traveling on public transportation. Mm, Finally, um, save better when using public transportation $100,000 per month instead of having to pour gasoline. Question: uh, how long does it take you to get to school every day? It takes me about 30 minutes. It, is it easy or hard to travel by public transportation in Hanoi? It's easy to use public transportation in Hanoi. How do you feel when you use public transportation in rush hour? I feel normal because I usually use public transportation. Sometimes it's a waste of time. Part 2. Do you prefer to watch films at home or at the cinema? Uh, I prefer to watch film at home because first, my boyfriend don't like watching films at the cinema. Second, watching film at the cinema is a waste of money, such as traveling expense, ticket, drink, and food. Finally, watching films in cinemas will not have the private space. Questions: how often do you watch films? Once a week. What is the most annoying thing when watching film at home? The screen is not big enough and the sound is not good. How long do you have to wait for the cinema movie to be available on the internet? It's about 1 week. Part 3. Do you prefer to read on a paper book or an ebook? I prefer to read on a paper book because first, I like the feeling of holding a book on hand to read rather than reading through the full screen. Second, it's easier to note down the memorable part. Finally, it's better for the eyes when reading paper books. Questions: how often do you read a paper book? Twice a month. Do you like any specific writer? Why do you like him or her? I like Nam Kao writer because he and I was born the same village. Do you often reread the book you love? Yes, I do. Part 4. Do you prefer to marry near or far from your parents' house? I prefer to marry near my parents' house because first, I want many relatives to attend my wedding. Second, it's more convenient for me and my parents to do necessary things for my wedding. Finally, I can go home at any time. Question. Do your parents oppose your marrying far away? Yes, they do. Uh, there will be lots of arguments if you live near your parents. Do you still want to live near them? Uh, yes, I want to live near my parents. Part 5. Do you prefer to live in a flat or in a house? I prefer to live in a house because first, I want to own the house of myself, which is designed to my hobbies. Second, I like the house with the large land, the jar and the garden to plant vegetables and fruits. Finally, it's more convenient and quiet to live in a house. Questions. How many floors do you want to? How many floors do you want in your house? 5 floors. How often will you clean your house? Every day. Thank you.